Well, the general is insisting on peace in Syria, and quite interesting is how he calls Golan Heights.
Yes.
It's Golan Heights.
Yes.
All right, that's something that we'll keep in mind. Let's move on now. On the 7th of August 2026, Saudi Arabia, Türkiye and Pakistan signed the Mecca Joint Defense Agreement, declaring that an armed attack on any one of them would be regarded as an attack on all of three.
That's right. So the agreement, remember, has already faced its first practical test. 2 days after its signing, the Iran-aligned Houthi movement claimed a drone strike against Saudi Aramco's Jazan refinery.
A day after the Jazan incident, 3 Pakistanis were killed in a Houthi strike on a commercial vessel in the Red Sea. The killing in the Bab el-Mandeb Strait has put Pakistan's newly expanded defense commitments under an immediate spotlight.
The 11th August attack on the Egyptian-owned Thihama also killed an Indonesian crew member and 2 Yemeni rescuers. As per reports, the Houthis claim that the vessel was carrying Saudi military supplies. Islamabad had already drawn a line around the security of its maritime interests before this latest attack.
The Houthi attack has therefore created an immediate test for the Mecca arrangement. The issue is not simply the deaths of Pakistani nationals. It is whether the broad principle of collective defense can be translated into a clearly defined response when a partner's strategic interests, maritime routes, and nationals are caught up in an attack by a non-state armed group. For Pakistan, the challenge is particularly significant. Islamabad has publicly committed itself to protecting maritime interests and has now signed a trilateral agreement that describes an attack on one member as an attack on all.
And so Saudi officials have warned of the possibility of coordinated attacks as well by Iran-aligned Iraqi Shiite militias and the Houthis. Such a scenario would create pressure from 2 directions, Yemen to the south and Iraq to the north. Now, the most plausible interpretation is that the attacks and threats may form part of an Iranian effort to test the Mecca pact at an early stage.
There
are more than one regional power seeking to impose its vision on the region. Iran is one of the parties, but there is also Israel on the other side. When examining this agreement and its 3 parties, it cannot be based on an ideological, sectarian, or even religious principle. No, the matter is linked to considerations of security and stability.
Remember, the Mecca agreement is already being tested under fire. However, the pact's real test will not necessarily be the next missile or drone launch. It will be whether Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Pakistan can produce a rapid, coordinated response through intelligence sharing, integrated air defense, technical assistance and a unified political message. If they can, the agreement may strengthen deterrence without requiring a wider war. If they cannot, Iran and its regional partners may conclude that the gap between the promise made in Mecca and the actual collective military capability remains substantial. All right, so of course, this is what has been, putting to test this Mecca agreement. It's been talked about a lot. It has also been called the Islamic NATO, but so far, no real concrete action that has been taken by the 3 allies as far as this latest attack is concerned. So we'll have to see how this really pans out.